So all of you would have had a recording of one of my sales calls to give you kind of a feel of what we do and how we do it. And I'd really like to sort of take the opportunity to ask what your opinions are. You know, what did you notice? What was the impression of the call? What did it sound like? Okay, James, what was your impression? What came across? What was different to you? What did you pick up?
So very different than like a lot of other sales calls I've ever seen. I mean, I'm kind of new to the industry and everything like that. First thing I noticed, I mean, after listening to a couple times, I mean, I'm not a single mom with 3 kids. So, but you immediately, like, you first you laid out like what you were going to go over. Well, before you did that, you kind of did an initial, what do you do? What's going on right now? What's your current situation? You get like a brief glimpse of it. And I kind of interpreted that as like, all right, first 30 seconds, let's put ourselves in this lady's shoes, Sarah. And then kind of from there, you gave like an overview about what you were going to talk about. You essentially said, all right, this is what we're going to do. And here's how we're going to do it in a very general sense, which I liked a lot. I'm not used to typically that. Kind of save that for the end, I thought, but it almost felt like a trust thing there. Like, I'm telling you exactly how we're going to do this, how we're going to talk about it, how we're going to go about it. And first I'm going to and then you're going to tell me about you. So I felt like in the beginning you were trying to get in her shoes, and then from there the discovery just kind of like was like a flow thing. It just became a conversation, just like thinking in her terms, what she was looking to do. And like you really like pinpointed that she was looking for freedom, she was looking for more time, and it almost just got her talking about it. And it really, like, I noticed it gradually just got more and more emotional, which I think was really
very good point. That's a really good point. Zach.
Yeah, kind of what James was saying. Basically, the biggest thing that I noticed actually was that you kind of got her to speak 80% of the time based off of the questions that you asked. So she spoke for probably, I think, 30 of the 37 or 38 minutes of the video. And you asked some really good open-ended questions, just trying to get her to dig deeper into the reason why that she wants a career change, or the reason that she wants to work with a coach to help her develop in her profession. And then it was pretty clear that she wants to spend more time with her new daughter, and wanted to get out of she left corporate a few years ago. But I think the biggest thing from most sales calls that I've listened to was just the time difference of you controlling the conversation by the questions that you asked when she spoke most of the time. That was really cool to see.
Exactly. So what do, just off back off what you said, Zach, what do salespeople love to do most?
Talk.
Talk.
Too much.
They love to talk.
Right.
They love to talk. They love the sound of their own voice. And most of the time when I'm talking, what am I doing?
Asking questions.
Yeah, but when she responds to them, I go, mm-hmm.
Kind of agree with her and relate with her.
That's all what I'm doing, right? So sales, because the sale doesn't come from what comes out of your mouth. It comes from what comes out their mouth. So salespeople, good salespeople, have to shut up and listen rather than talk. Because the reason that they do talk is because they love to talk about themselves and the product. And the reason they like doing that, because it's easy. It's your safe place, right? Because you're familiar with yourself and you're familiar with the product. So what you will do is you'll go to your safe place. You'll go and just talk about me and the product. But you don't get a sale because you talk about yourself and the product. You get a sale because you understand the person, right? And a very important thing there that you said, James, about the emotion. As it got progressively into the call, it became more and more emotional. And we're going to talk about this in an illustration. If you do all the talking, the only person that gets emotional is you. Right? It's you, but you're not buying the course or the program. They are, right? So and this is a principle in the way I teach, right? You have to get them to come out with the ideas and what you want them to do, because if you get them to initiate those thoughts, it comes across as their own thoughts. And if you tell them it's not, that's your thought. And what happens is that you have a level of resistance. So we have this sort of mantra, telling isn't selling, By telling someone, it is not selling. The way you sell is you craft questions to open up their mind to look at your offer in a different way, right? So it's really, really important. So all of you here, when we did the interview, do you see how the hard part is, well, there's two parts to it, right? So we try to understand what the problem is, and then we have to ask questions for them to utter those words and those statements. Do you see? So, by the way, before I even asked her about her home situation, that we got into the conversation, I already knew what I wanted her to say. And where did I get that knowledge from?
Just probably first 30 seconds. I mean, her telling you that she's been an operations manager for 6 years. She's super busy. She made that very clear. 3 kids, single. I mean, chances are, I mean, I don't think she's making that phone call if she's got a lot of free time. Just by hearing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I got it from the intel gathering. You know, the questions that I asked at the beginning, that's my intel gathering. So in the interview, what did we do? I gave you facts and you had to work out. That's exactly what I'm doing on this call, right? So before I even get to know about what her problem is, I've already got a strategy in mind, thinking, right, I've got a hypothesis. I want to test this by asking questions, right? So that's really, really key. Any other observations?
I think I didn't get into this too. Then later on in your pitch too, I noticed like it was kind of very phased. Like the beginning, I thought that was very good. It seemed like a 2-part kind of pitch is what it seemed to me. In the beginning, you sort of really like laid out like a 3-step process. You know, a very general sense what's going to happen, and then kind of went detailed from there, which I thought was very good.
Yeah. What was my energy levels like?
Very calm and you know,
Collected.
almost boring.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange? Isn't that strange for a salesperson?
Yeah, not snake oily at all. The opposite.
Exactly. Now, James, you said something the opposite. What is she expecting me to be like talking to making a sales call? What is she expecting?
Most likely what people are used to for decades on phone sales.
Exactly.
Someone that's trying to get your credit card as soon as possible.
Like very excited.
Aggressive.
Someone, hey, how's it going, Sarah? Yeah, let's do this. You know, we're going to get you your 6 figures and you're going to have an amazing life. And how would that be? You know, we don't do that, because the reason we don't do it is because they're expecting it. And what people expect, they have their resistance levels up, right? So I'm almost Mr. Boring, very monotone. The only time that I increase my emotion by about 5 to 10% is when I go through what the world would look like. That's what I call the inspiration step. What the world would look like if they did actually cross over, right? It goes up by about 5 to 10%, but I don't go beyond that. And my tone is like this. I talk like this because it gives a certain impression, right? What the impression it gives is not a salesperson, it's someone who's doing an assessment. Imagine you walked in to your doctor and he's like, hey, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, let's see that leg. Oh, that looks a bit wobbly. Oh no, we got to do some surgery on there. Let's get you out there. High five. It's not going to work. It's just, it doesn't happen, right? He's not trying. And also, answer this question. Why would you be more excited than her to change her life?
Unless
you wouldn't be.
Yeah, that's a good question.
But what's the reason that you would be?
Because you want to get paid.
And
they would
commission.
Commission. That.
And I tell you, prospects can smell that from a mile away.
Yeah.
They know. By the way, did I ask her about the weather and where she lives and how many, what she likes doing on holidays? And did I ask any of that bullshit?
No,
because it's bullshit and it doesn't work. And
right into it.
No, it's very artificial. and people know what you're doing. So we don't do this bullshit, right? We do something called pattern interrupts. So it's really, really important that people are in autopilot. So humans, in order to conserve energy and time, they go into autopilot, right? So if you go when you're traveling on the train, people are just like, they do this every single day, the same motions every day. They're on autopilot. They're not thinking. They think about something else, right? And people do that in different circumstances and environments, especially on sales calls. So as soon as they hear someone who has high energy, they will react in a certain way to get their defenses up. It's automatic. Oh, this guy's trying to pitch me. This guy's trying to sell to me. Let me just get off this phone. Let me just get the price. But then when I come on like the way I did, and I change my tone, and it's like, right, okay, it interrupts, and like, what the hell is going on here, right? And that's what we're trying to do here.